嗨，大家好，我是飞镖队，欢迎来到我的频道，在这里每天给大家分享一些关于 Pi Network 的信息。那好，今天的话，我要去给大家分享的是关于这次的一个主页的更新。那么我们这次的一个点闪呢，可以看到我们的主 App 上面已经更新了一定的内容，而这个内容呢是来源于尼古拉斯团队对于这个社区的一些问题的解答。那么这里面的解答呢，我给大家归分为是两大类。那么第一大类呢是关于 KYC 的，第二大类呢是关于派币映射情况的。那么关于 KYC 的，它讲的比较多事实也证明了，现目前的状况就是在整个的派的项目进程当中呢 ，KYC 是面临着我们目前正在走的这一步，也是关键型的一步。因为如果说一旦这一步没有走好的话，会影响到后期社区发展的一个公平性。那么这个公平性呢，主要就是来源于这些刷派的人。一个人拥有多个账号，或者说虚拟的账号进行刷派的，那么着重的话，Pi的项目方案目前在处理这一块。那么他就讲了关于现有的这个 KYC 的流程，那么他们流程到底是怎么走的人工 AI 应该是怎么去算法怎么走完之后，需要到人工的时候，会通过人工去进行不同的一个审核。而技术这一块呢，是人工 AI 会在不同的层面上面去进行一个学习，而在遇到难题的时候，他会把它抛给人工，而通过人工的一系列的审核之外，他又从中学习到更多的东西。那就是相当于在 KYC 的流程当中有两套系统，第一套系统就是完全自主的人工系统，第二套呢就是人工与 AI 之间的一个配合，促进第一条 AI 的一个生成和促进 AI 的一个学习。那么这样的状况的话，会引起未来的在 KYC 的流程中 AI 的学习能力越来越强，那么它的准确率也就会越来越高。那么然后呢是关于 KYC 的一个验证，那么还有 KYC 的就是关于 KYC 的一个统计，现有的人通过了大约10%左右的人已经通过了验证。而可以看到的话，今年已经到下半年了，在整个 Pi Network 的项目中呢，通过 KYC 的人数呢也仅仅只占了1/10。那可以看得出，我们未来的话还需要去进一步的努力。那么还有 KYC 呢，就是验证人员的一个奖励。那我们知道，在原始的时候，尼古拉斯早就说过了嘛，关于 KYC 人员，我们每个人你需要去人工验证的时候，你会付出一个派币作为一个支付让你通过 KYC。而这个通过 KYC 的这个1枚派币呢，并不是说你验证人员就可以全部拿到1枚派币，一整枚派币，而并不是的。因为这个 KYC 的机制里面呢，是将你的个人信息进行切分因为要对于你进行一定的保密性嘛，所以说你的信息不可能完完整整的出现在一个验证员的手里面。所以说你们的验证呢，可能会需要3个人，有可能需要5个人，甚至需要10个人去验证。而这1枚派币呢，如果是需要到10个人去验证的话，那么这1枚派币就会分给10个人。那么具体的怎么分法呢？尼古拉斯团队呢会在下面的这个视频中给大家一一解释。那么好，接下来我再跟大家说一下第二大类，也是这个视频里面去讲到的。那么第二大类就是关于派币的一个映射并已经一个转移的情况。因为我们知道这个映射币呢，必须要前期是通过 KYC， 而我们现在通过 KYC 的人数占所有挖派的人的1/10。那这个具体的映射的情况是什么样的？有没有区域性的差距？或者说哪些地方的人拥有的派币更多？哪些地方呢派币的数量更少？那么以及他们的一个转移情况到底是什么样呢？这次的项目方也进行了一个统计。那也就验证了我们以前对于派的一个推测，就是说前期的先锋呢，在进行一个线下的交易的时候，或者说派币的映射的时候，等等的一系列的操作的时候会被项目方进行收集。那么收集后的这个数据呢，更能够去反映这个项目目前进展的处于哪种阶段，在现有处的这个阶段有什么东西是可以改进的，有什么东西是不足的。那么这呢就被项目方一一的收集到。那么另外就是现有的映射用户当中呢，有80%的用户呢是进行了锁仓的。那么不管说你锁仓6个月还是锁仓3年，那这些映射币量的这部分人呢，有80%都是锁了仓的。那这呢就是关于这个整个内容我的一个大致的归类。那么当然更细则的内容呢大家需要去仔细去看一下那么接下来的话，我就把这个视频给大家翻译了那么大家可以去自行去了解一下，去观看一下。
Resubmission would be a useful remedy only for a few cases, such as a failure in image recognition checks,
That makes sense, that allowing them to resubmit their images for the algorithm to to take another try, and then many of them actually get passed. Until there are major changes to the system in these checks, like for example the image recognition, the resubmission wouldn't help that much. If someone who is actually stuck because of their name appeal, then it should be waiting for the name appeal feature to come out to resolve the, their name don't simply match that case. So giving them another resubmission would only lead them to have more trouble resubmitting one more time, wouldn't let them just go past because of resubmission. However, we need to strike a balance in granting, even for the checks that resubmission would help, we need to strike a balance in granting resubmissions, because we don't want to let the fake accounts to get many opportunities to retry either. Yes, there is already a feature actually halfway, shown, but there is some scalability issue and not fully fledged for people to use. I don't remember where it is at. Maybe it's in the mainnet checklist. Oh, the last step. It's like inviting your teams to KYC. So this is the mechanism and feature we thought of to mobilizing the inactive or other members who haven't KYC to KYC. In a sense, it's decentralized motivation mechanism. Each person is motivating their own security circle or referral team to pass KYC because they have their own motivation as well, because the bonuses attributed to those members depends on the verification of identity of their team members. So the feature that we're thinking of is notification through the similar to the PIN. However, we're also open to sending email notifications, which will take time to set up the infrastructure to send millions of emails, but still more feasible than sending text messages. The majority of the efforts right now in the KYC team have been to unblocking pioneers for their ability to submit KYC and getting unstuck in the KYC review process for various reasons just mentioned above. For the user endpoint, it's just the same. It's pending or it's stuck. But for the engineering side of things, it's actually different sets of work. It's not just one set of work and unblock all people. It's a different miscellaneous set of work to unblock different people for different reasons. And that's why it takes time. And that's why you continuously hearing people who is stuck is because, there are always remaining people who is stuck due to the probability of algorithms and due to human errors. And we're trying our best to unblock them and improve them as much as possible. The validator rewards are accumulated by deducting 1 pi from each successful KYC, especially at the migration and into a pool. This pool will only increase and will not decrease because it will only be used to reward validators. All the work, such as checks a validator did, are accounted for in the database. So we have all the data that is needed in order to distribute the reward. So the rewards from the pool will be distributed after the calculation of the accurate validation checks, because there are some validations should be false and that shouldn't be compensated for. It will be after the KYC process is more stable state where all pioneers can apply to KYC, fewer people are stuck in the pipeline. This also helps to reward all validators more fairly, because the initial periods of KYC movement, we call it, if it's a network movement of KYC, the initial periods, like right now or any time before right now, it should be considered the initial period. This may involve more negative results, meaning that these ones are marked as internally as rejected or actually rejected, whereas later stage, presumably more cases passing. So the pool only comes from the successful KYC, as a reminder, because only the people who are KYC that actually can claim the Pi and therefore actually have the ability to pay the 1 Pi, but will reward all the work by validators, even if the results of the cases are negative, meaning that the work, if a validator accurately validate a case and determine this case shouldn't pass, this validator's work still needs to be rewarded because it's a work helped to result in accurate negative result. So accounting for larger data set of the validation work helps overall more fair reward distribution. I'll give a very simple example. So early on, let's suppose, all these are supposed hypothetical number. Suppose 3 out of 10 KYC applications pass KYC. And these work are done by 10 validators, which is assumption is hypothetical because actually each case has many validators involved. Let's suppose 10 for simplicity. Therefore, this will yield 3 pi should be distributed among 10 people, and each validator will only get 0.3 pi. But later, as the system improves, later 9 out of 10 people pass KYC, and also done by 10 validators, 9 pi will be distributed among 10 people. This leads to the later periods 0.9 pi. But if we put both batches together and distribute the pi rewards together, it means that 3 plus 9 is 12 pi in total, and distributed to 20 validators in total, that each validator should earn 0.6 pi instead of for the initial validators that basically suffer from a lot of negative results is 0.3, and then later has much higher. This is a simple hypothetical example why pulling it together more to reach a little bit more stable KYC periods helps even or more fair distribution. Okay.
Currently, there is over 700,000 validators who have validated at least a certain amount of applications, meaning that it's not just one or two, it's like a few applications, Yes, at the moment, every KYC application involves multiple human validations. But human validations do not constitute the whole validation process of a KYC. But all the cases also involve multiple machine automation checks. So we will see how this can evolve in the future. Maybe we will be at a point where many validations can be fully completed by AI, and when the AI is not certain, that's when it goes to human validators.
Yes.
And by the way, this is going to be a benefit for human validators as well, because they will only be called to do meaningful work, therefore, more meaningful work, therefore, critical, meaning that not the easy cases, but the more difficult cases that the computer cannot determine. And as a result, the proportion, the amount of pi that will be distributed would also be higher, because fewer people are needed per person who needs to KYC.
Yeah, so this is the design of a components of a machine and also AI and human is by it's to make something 100%, meaning that it can reach finality. Because AI until today, even though it's great applications in areas very widely, very useful, but it cannot achieve the 100%. However, the KYC determination needs to be 100%. That's why we have the design of two components. And at the same time, as you guys, many of you know, AI has the nature of evolvement, like evolution of itself, of getting smarter as it goes. And that's what Nicholas commented on. Later, it might not need certain processes or reduce certain type of work for validator, while giving validator more critical work to work on.
Mm-hmm. So we're doing two things basically as we go. One is we're using these algorithms to make decisions in the applications as they go, but we are also learning, the algorithm is training and learning based on validator responses, and it's improving itself.
Mm-hmm.
Some migration statistics. So currently there is a little bit over 1 billion pi that is moved to mainnet. It's 1.046, something like that. And about 80% of that is locked for 6 months or more, like 813 million and some more. We have migrated about 1.3 million to mainnet. That means that this 1 billion pi belongs to those 1.3 million people. And there is currently about 2.6 million, about double that, who have passed KYC. So this means, if we divide the numbers up, it means that currently the average mainnet balance of pioneers is about 800 pi, 808. These are the statistics, current statistics about the migration. Can we add the feature automatically switch the keyboard to English when entering a passphrase? This will limit the situation that the pioneer still leaves the keyboard in the native language and confuses one number or character when entering the passphrase. I think this is a really good idea. We can look into whether it is technically feasible if the phones allow you, or the phone browsers allow you to do this, to modify the keyboard settings. If we can, it's a really good idea. Thank you for proposing it.
那好，以上的视频大家已经看完了，相信对于Pi目前的经历是到了哪一个阶段，有自己的一个看法以及Pi现有的一个具体状况KYC 的情况映射的情况，有了逐步的一个认识。那么好，以上内容来源于Pi Network 项目方的一个 YouTube 视频的发布。那么关于更多Pi官方的一些信息，可以去官方的主页进行查看。那好，今天的视频就和大家分享这么多，我们下期再见，拜拜。